Well, guys, this is crazy in the crypto world for any of y'all that are still involved in that if you haven't gotten shaken out yet. Um, FTX is getting bought out by Binance. I mean, this is crazy. This fella here on the left, he's the closest thing to like a Warren Buffett. It's like a Jerome Powell that the crypto world even has. And they're going insolvent, and or not exactly. It's a little cloudy. We're probably going to get a lot more details as this develops. But as for right now, all we know is that this guy is going to buy out this guy's little FTX brands, FTX International. I'm not sure if it's the US one or not, but this is pretty huge because if you're not familiar with this fellow on the left, this guy was thought to be like the guy in crypto. He was thought to be the genius. He's always there. He's gonna bail. He's been bailing people out left and right so far, and we thought he was untouchable. And this takes him down a notch because now it sounds like he himself is on the risk of he might be going bankrupt. If you look at their their exchange token, the FTT token. Let's see here. It has been doing some wonky stuff. It collapsed way over here. I mean, it's dropped about 30% in value. And this is like their native token on their exchange. And looking at Bitcoin, it has been very volatile. So obviously, that's what always happens in Bitcoin when you see these random fat drops. It's always right before something happens. Everyone knows. Not everyone, but somebody always knows in the know. There's always some insider information moving around, so people always sell their Bitcoin before the news comes out. Yada yada. So I was a little worried something big was going to happen when I saw this drop last night. And it sounds like this was the big news, but the news of it actually made Bitcoin go straight back up, but now it's going back down a little bit. But this has some big implications for the crypto world because these are thought to be the two. I mean, they're the biggest exchanges, and really it's a little concerning for the crypto world because this is like if they're having a bank run like the banks had back in the Great Depression, where people don't trust them, they're not backed by anything, and people are just flocking to take their money out. And what happens every time is this Sam guy, he came out last night and he said, "Hey, there's no liquidity crisis, we're fine." And then all of a sudden this morning, oh, actually we're halting withdrawals because everyone is panicking. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, my money is gonna go to zero." They're trying to get their cash out, and this also kind of gives fuel to the argument that you don't want to have your money on these crypto exchanges. You're much better off having them in a cold wallet, which it's your or not your keys, not your crypto kind of thing. You're giving them the keys to your wallet when you put your money on their exchange. Um, and yeah, so I believe what do we have? What do we have? Where Sam? Actually, just look up FTX. So this guy buying them out. They have sent a letter of intent to buy them out, so it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go through. They are going to do some DD. They're going to look over their books, a little due diligence, make sure everything's on the up and up before they agree to. So if they were to change their minds, that would be very bad because now that FTX has halted withdrawals, they're working through their withdrawal backlog. So they're going through giving people their money that want to take their money out. So Binance might be like, well, if everyone's just going to take their money out as soon as we buy it, we don't want to just buy it. Then we're going to just lose a ton of money. So they might just change their mind depending on how many people are trying to flock out of there. But yeah, that just it kind of is concerning because crypto is known for its lack of regulation. That's kind of been the the word about crypto this past year, where you have all these exchanges going belly up. They're all over leveraged, and that's the other thing. There's no oversight. No one looks at the books at these companies. They're just on their own, and everyone just trusts them because this guy is thought to be like the crypto genius. So it's like, yeah, I mean, if anyone's trustworthy, it's probably the guy who has made a name for being a genius in crypto. And couldn't even trust him. So it's concerning. They have no kind of Jerome Powell. They have nothing to bail out the system. So if the whole system goes belly up, there's nothing to help them. Like no one's gonna flock in and help them. Sam was the closest thing to that, and even he couldn't handle how much they were buying because they bought up Voyager, I believe. I think they bought Celsius. So I'm sure information's gonna come out that probably shows that they were just way over leveraged. They couldn't handle it, and now they were just getting a liquidity crunch. Everyone's trying to take their money out. Everyone's freaking out, and yeah, that's really not good for crypto. It doesn't help in the like public sentiment towards crypto. People want to have confidence, and that's the only thing that makes crypto go up is the confidence in it. It's 100% a speculative asset. If there's no confidence in crypto, it's not good for crypto because it's not like a stock where you have earnings, you have things to back up the true value of a company. Crypto is just based off speculation. So this doesn't help. It's like if a JP Morgan bought out a Wells Fargo, and then everyone was like, well, what the hell was Wells Fargo doing? And then it's just like, we don't really know because these companies are not transparent at all. And that's the other thing about Binance. They're not transparent either. And they, they just, it's just a lot of, well, what's going on behind the scenes? And we saw that with Lunaterra. We've been seeing that with all sorts of exchanges. And it's just not a good look for the crypto world, especially, and now Bitcoin's going back down. Bitcoin's not happy once again. And damn, Bitcoin is bleeding right now. Wow. Wow, look at that wicked 4 hour candle. Wick straight up to 20,600, and now it's gone straight back down. But this is just a, I mean, it's crazy. This is it's hard to describe the gravity of this kind of thing because a lot of people are in crypto and they don't even touch these exchanges, which is smart. If you're gonna have Bitcoin, like why have it on one of these exchanges? But then a lot of people are holding Solana, they're holding FTT, they're holding all sorts of these stable coins. Not Solana's not a stable coin, but they're holding all sorts of other stable coins on these exchanges, thinking that that's a safe investment. That's as good as cash, and it's not because these exchanges could just go belly up at any moment, and there's never any warning. There's no warning. The CEOs always come out and they say, "No, we're good. Hey, everything's good. We don't have a look." Because they have to say that. They can't come out and say, "Hey guys, we're a little worried about our money because fear," and everyone tries to panic and take their money out, and then that makes the problem worse. So they always come out and they always are like, "Hey, everything's good. We're not going to halt withdrawals." Sam literally said that like 24 hours ago, and this morning, 24 hours later, they halted withdrawals. So it almost does the opposite when they come out and say, "Hey, we're not going to halt withdrawals. Everything's good," because then people do start to withdraw. So this is just, I mean, crypto has been in a rough spot. It has never experienced a macroeconomic situation like it's in right now with these intense rate hikes. And this is just, I mean, it's crazy. FTX, it has its name on the Miami, where the Miami Heat play. It's like a big thing. You saw ads everywhere. They were just marketing like crazy. And finally, the first time that crypto doesn't just go straight up for 2 years, they're just tripping over themselves. They're stumbling. Everyone was just assuming crypto is here to stay. It's just going to keep going straight up no matter what. After just a 2 year bubble. So this is just one 2 year bubble that has burst, and it's just ripping all these people down. And it is kind of funny to see because crypto was just so insanely euphoric. Everyone and their mother was saying, "You gotta get in on crypto. You're gonna miss the train on crypto." And it doesn't look like anyone's missed a train. If you didn't buy, you are looking pretty good. But it is still concerning about the legitimacy of the asset in general. When even these guys that are thought to be untouchable are actually very vulnerable to this macroeconomic situation, and it's only been 1 year of pain. I mean, these guys couldn't handle a single year of pain. What if we have a 5 year stretch where crypto is dead? What then? Are all these guys just going to go under? They're all just so over leveraged, and it's not good when you're that over leveraged, and the Fed starts ripping rates up the quickest they have in about 40 years. So everyone's feeling the pain on that front, and no one is immune to it, and that has become abundantly clear as companies like this are still they're still feeling the pain, man. And yeah, I don't think the crypto world wants regulation, but when stuff like this happens, I don't know how many times stuff like this could happen before governments are like, all right, these guys need to have some transparency because they're not like a public company like Coinbase, where Coinbase has to show what's on their books because they are a public company. FTX doesn't have to show anything because they're not a public company. They're not insured by the FDIC or FINRA. They don't have the Fed come in and be like, hey, what's going on? Like all the other banks, like JP Morgan, they have to show everything. These guys just do whatever they want because they're a private little company, and it's all fine and dandy when crypto's going straight up. But sheesh, you have a little pain in the crypto world, and everyone panics, and that is a little worrying. And it just it's more proof that you don't fight the Fed. I mean, where did crypto start to die? Right where the Fed started to say, "Hey, we're going to start to tighten rates," and it hasn't looked back. So I would be waiting for the Fed U-turn, not just the pivot, because I don't think the Fed's going to U-turn for at least another year or two. But they will pivot at some point and say, "Hey, we're not going to keep tightening rates, but they're also not going to drop them." I would wait for the U-turn. U-turn being like a full 180. A pivot would be like, "Hey, we're going from 75 basis points to 25 basis points." That's a pivot. But a full like turnaround U-turn is dropping rates back down to where they want them to be at, which is around 3%. So in the meantime, don't fight the Fed, and just keep your ears open because this kind of stuff just happens out of nowhere. Like no one really saw this coming. I think when you see companies that have their names on NBA arenas, you would think that they were rock solid, but it just shows the kind of just the degenerate, like it's straight up gambling what these companies are doing, and it's risky. They're playing with people's money because if they go bankrupt and you don't have your money in cash, they use your assets in the bankruptcy to pay off their debts. And you're just left holding your nuts. Like there's nothing. They don't give a shit about you. They're just like, "Yep, sorry, man, it didn't work out this time." So either just don't mess with these exchanges and have your assets in a cold wallet, or just uh, crypto's a tough one, man. It's a tough because it's just no one knows what's gonna happen to it, and it's very speculative. So yep, that's the big news, man. Sam is not looking good. He himself might personally go bankrupt at the end of all this, and that is crazy because he was like the Warren Buffett. He was the guy. He was on this guy. This guy was on the friggin' he was on magazines and shit. Look at this guy. Yeah, he's on Fortune 500. Look at this guy. The next Warren Buffett, 30-year-old billionaire, is betting big on crypto in a moment of crisis. Or crash and burn. Yep, and that's kind of what he did, and that's exactly what he was trying to do. He's trying to be like Warren Buffett, because Warren Buffett in these economic pullbacks, he's always like acquiring companies, just scooping up stock left and right because he knows that these things will bounce back. But in crypto, it's only been around for like 14 years. There's not nearly as much history as there is in the regular stock market, where we do know things just go straight back up. But for crypto, it's like, sheesh, is it gonna ever come back from this? I don't know. But yeah, that's what happened today. Take it easy.